Back on the Anglers Extra pregame show, and well, this just feels right. Schiff, I missed you the last couple days. How have you been?
I'm doing fine, and Evan has done a great job in place of you, if you call that, but whatever, and we're back. Here we go.
Well, after a 2-game winning streak, a loss last night against the Wareham Gatemen, and taking on the Brewster Whitecaps tonight, the Chatham Anglers here at Stony Brook Field, and this a big game, Schiff. Tiebreaker implications, playoff implications. Have you given that message to your team?
No. Play ball. Got to win. You know, we have 11 games left, so it's important because we're fighting for the playoff spot. But just go out and play. Just go out and play baseball. And you know, again, I've said it all along. There's not a lot of need for motivation. They know. You know, I don't have to tell them. They'll look at me if I bring them together and say, okay, you guys got to do this, because they're going to look at you like, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. Good. You know, so no, they get it. They know the implications. You can hear the talking. It's no, you know, these kids get it, and they know what they have to do, and they know what they've got, you know, they just have to do it.
Last night, jump out to a 5-run lead and then 8 unanswered from the Gatemen. Bunch of opportunities late in the game with runners on base as well. Is that something that you echoed in your post-game kind of speech?
You know, they know. Again, it's, you know, we're not looking at kids who haven't played baseball. It's not like this is a Babe Ruth team or a Little League team that you go over every detail, because that's where they're learning the basics of the game. These guys know how to play baseball. And they know that there were certain situations where a player did something that he should not have done or could have done better. He knows that. He doesn't need that to be reinforced, I get it. You know, and again, I'm not going to say, they're not going to say Captain Obvious, but they're going to, hey, Coach, I got it. I messed up. I'm going to try to do better. They know. And there's times where you go and you take them aside. I took one of the guys aside last night, and it was a base running philosophical chat, because I thought the runner would rely too much on the third base coach. When you're running on first base, the only ball you really need the third base coach on is the runner when the ball is behind you. You cannot see that ball. Everything else is in front of you. You know your speed. You know the speed of the ball. You should have checked a scouting report, or check with somebody, or check yourself watching which guy has a stronger arm. You know if you can make it. You don't need the third base coach in that situation. Even if the third base coach is trying to whip you there, you're going, nah, I don't think so, and you shut it down. And this young man turned the bag and was looking for Travis instead of having to make the decision before he got to the bag. And I says, forget Travis, watch the ball. You don't need the third base coach in that situation. You know, and that's you know, he'll, you know, hopefully next time that situation comes up, he'll be able to remember, okay, it's me. I'm watching that ball. Yeah, I can make that. Here I go. Or up, I'm shutting it down. I'm good at second base. You know, so those are the little things.
This afternoon, Simon Matthews is on the mound, and this will be the 3rd time he faces Brewster this season, and 3rd time at this field. Does that worry you a little bit that this Brewster lineup has seen him so many times?
Not really, but yeah, there's always a thought that they're going to, you know, I'm sure they keep a scouting report just like we do, and a pitcher's chart. So, you know, now they've had 3 good looks at him, so he's going to have to remember. He and Rob are going to talk before the game how they're going to pitch to each and one of the hitters, what situation are we going to use. Maybe they'll completely change everything they've done to pitch backwards. You know, where we got this guy out in this pitch and this pitch, well, maybe we're going to try to get him out because he's going to be looking for that pitch. That's the chess match you have.
And also Jake Palomaki back in the lineup and hitting leadoff for you, coming off that bruised hand against Hyannis. How's he feeling, and what do you think he brings to the table?
He says it's a little sore, and it should be. He got whacked pretty good, but, you know, he's a gamer. He wants to get out there and play. He knows where we could use an extra body, so he's going to give it a shot. And, again, you know, they know if they can't perform, they're going to come to me and say, hey, I need to shut it down. And, we've got Hunter's here. We got IL come off the bench, so we're fine.
This, one of the final games of the season against, well, it is the final game of the season against Brewster, and 6 division games left after this. That's the 2nd tiebreaker. So when you take a look at the rest of the schedule, and whether it's Brewster or Harwich or 2 against YD next week or 2 against Orleans to finish off the season, is there any part of it that is more important than anything else?
I don't believe in the tiebreakers. I don't believe you got to win. Doesn't matter who we're playing, whether it's Katuitt, or I know we got one more game. I think we have one more game with Katuitt. Am I correct or not? You know, I think one more game with Falmouth. Maybe Hyannis. We done with Hyannis? I don't know. See, I don't pay attention. I go game at a time. I'm kind of one of those, you know. And you got to win. You know, no matter who you're getting the points off of, you got to win. Head-to-head is great, but what's the difference if they beat Orleans and we beat somebody? It's the same thing. If we lose and they win, they get more points than us. So you can't put too much emphasis on every game, because every game counts. So we got to beat Brewster today. There's no question about it. We have to beat, who are we playing Sunday? Hyannis. No?
Hyannis.
Yeah, we got to beat them, you know, and so I don't look at it in those terms that every game means so much. The certain games mean more than others. No, every game means the same. It's 2 points you get, and if they win, fine, and if they don't, great. That's how I look at it.
Well, the Anglers a point back of Brewster, 5th place in the East Division, and 1 point away from a playoff spot in the Cape Cod Baseball League, taking on the Whitecaps for the final time in this regular season this afternoon. Schiff, it's good to be back here, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Evan looks very good tonight. Very Cape Cod look right there. Nice Chatham-A's golf shirt with some seersucker shorts. That's a good look. I like it.
Well, we'll see Evan on Catch of the Day, and we'll see who he talks to. But right now, Evan, back to you.